So, a very good afternoon to one and all participants of this 25th NEP Orientation and Sensitization course being organized by UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. I welcome all the participants to this inaugural session of this NEP Orientation and Sensitization course. So before going towards this meeting, towards this inaugural session, I would request Gaurav Jadhav to start the banner and the university song.
सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमचे जागराचे गीत आमचे आकाशाचे गीत आमचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत वाऱ्यातही मराठीचे दिवे लख घरोघर संत महंतांचे विरागी गीत आमचे कागडाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमचे जागराचे तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनलेला
नक्षीतच पक्षी पक्षी विजयाचा विरलेला
सोन पहाट उदयाचे गीत आमचे उजेडाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमचे जागराचे प्रज्ञेचा सूर्य नवा शब्द शब्द उजळून गेला समतेचा संग्रहाचा अर्थ ढाळून गेला विराट विशाल संस्कृतीचे गीत आमचे जीवनाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमचे जागराचे गीत आमचे आकाशाचे गीत आमचे सागराचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे गीत आमचे जागराचे
So thank you, Gaurav. I would request all the participants to open the camera. सभी सहभागी मित्र हमारे अपने कैमरा ओपन रखें। सभी सेशंस के लिए माइक म्यूट रहे आपके, बट आपके कैमरा ओपन रखें। So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome our Honorable President, Professor Dhanashri Mahajan ma'am, to this inaugural session, Director of this Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center. Also, I welcome today's guest, Dr. Ashwini Kumar Bhardwaj sir. So, the 8 days program of this NEP orientation and sensitization course being organized online by this Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University. Renowned resource person from Pan-India level will be invited for this course. And this course will be for afternoon session from 2:30 to 5:30 on daily basis, except on Saturday and Sunday. So this week, Monday to Friday lectures will be there. And in the coming week, second week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. There will be a test, MCQs test on the second week, Friday, for this course. So I hope that all of you will enjoy, all of you will carry forward something in your bags when this course gets completed. So not taking much time, I would now request our Honorable President, Professor Dhanashri Mahajan ma'am. She is a senior professor in Department of Economics of our university. And her specialization is regional economics, international economics, and public economics. So I would request her to deliver a presidential remark to this inaugural session.
Thank you, Dr. Rafiq. I welcome our distinguished chief guest, Dr. A.R. Bhardwaj sir, of the CEO of the Bijon Desai Foundation, Nashik. And I am delighted to welcome all the distinguished participants, as I know you are professors, associate professors. So the objective of this program under the MMTTC is to help us prepare a mindset for shifting our approach to education to multidisciplinary learning, because the future of education is in our hands. The policy is only in the form of a document, and it is all up to us how we go ahead with the implementation of this policy in letter and spirit. So our MMTTC has actually invited many resource persons pan-India, and they will be delivering lectures on Indian knowledge system and how we can integrate the multidisciplinary approach to everything that we do, whether it is teaching or curriculum development. So the multidisciplinary approach is the key to this National Education Policy 2020. And we look forward as a nation to bring about a shift in our education system from the traditional one to this modern one, where we have a lot of emphasis on our own indigenous knowledge system. So that is the great thing about this, where we combine the modern skills of technology, information and communication technology in higher education, and we try to make it society oriented. So with these words, I just say that I hope that the deliberations will be very fruitful and interactive, and we will definitely take away a lot of knowledge from these sessions. So again, I welcome our chief guest, Dr. Bhardwaj sir. We are delighted to have you, sir, here for the inaugural session of this
Thank you
course.
very much.
And with these words, with these words, I just, I think I should stop here and let the distinguished guest be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Indeed, We are really honored to have Professor Ashwini Kumar Bhardwaj sir as an inaugurator, as well as he will continue with the lecture after his complete inauguration. Professor A.R. Bhardwaj sir is behavioral psychologist and psycho-spiritual mentor, educator, and speaker. He is a renowned behavioral psychologist and dynamic mentor with over 3 decades of experience in education, counseling, and institutional leadership. He is currently the CEO of Bejon Desai Foundation, Nasik, and director of JAM Foundation, dedicated to empowering youth and educators through integral education inspired by the philosophy of Sir Aurobindo and the Mother. He holds a PhD in psychology and MA in industrial and organizational behavior and MBA in HRM and masters in personal management. He is also qualified the UGC NET for lecturership. As a distinguished speaker, Maharashtra Police Academy Nasik, he is a regular invited to train police personnel in psychology of criminal behavior, interrogation technique, and the mental dynamic of witness. His psycho-educational approach integrates clinical insight with practical tools for personal assessment and mental health and stress management. He has a rich academic background, having served as a principal of reputed women college and the head of Department of Psychology at Bonsala Military College, Nasik. His passion for student and teacher mentorship shines through his innovative workshop on team building, communication, goal setting, and emotional regulation. As a certified soft skill trainer and life member of several prestigious psychological association, he continues to bridge academic theory with real world application. He has authored 2 books, completed 2 funded research projects of UGC, and frequently presented research papers at national and international journals. He has also worked in invisible yet impactful capacity, mentoring school leaders, students, and counselors. His creative use of tools like flower mandals and reflective mediators make him sessions deeply transmitted. He is deeply respected for guiding students, especially in rural and vernacular backgrounds, and for preparing faculty for NEP 2020 implementation across educational sector. Whether in police training hall or school corridor, his commitment remains unwavering to nurture minds, build inner harmony, and transform institutional through compassionate psychological and conscious leadership. So I welcome Dr. A.R. Bhardwaj sir, and I would now request him to enlighten us through his knowledge. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be associated with the Academic Staff College of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Sambhajinagar University. At the outset, I'm thankful to the director, Dhanashri Marnach Madam, at the same time, the Assistant Director, Rafeji, and all these gathering, okay. I'm thankful to the director and assistant director again, because for the first time I'm seeing live pictures of the audience. And most of the academic staff colleges, it's like you talking to the closed windows where videos are off and only the resource person is visible. So thankful for this, and we will try to make it more interactive in the process, because once you see who is the person across to you, it is always tempting to ask people the question, and you are very much welcome to ask me the questions. You can raise your hands as and when possible. So I will try to give justice to the questions which I'm thankful to the organizers who made me the chief guest for this inaugural orientation program, where sensitization of the faculties with reference to the NEP 2020 is going in a big way, because we are the people, those who are going to make NEPs successful when it comes to the higher education. So we are the people, those who are going to be the front runners in making NEP relevant and at the same time sustainable in higher educational institutions. Today, my topic of the talk is governance and leadership in higher education vis-a-vis NEP 2020. When we talk about Indian context, okay, is it fine if I speak in English, because the whole thing is started in English? And
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. English,
Perfectly
Hindi, you can do, sir. No issue.
चलेगा, हिंदी भी बीच में हम ले लेंगे.
जी 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 बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर.
हाँ.
पैन इंडिया कोर्स रहने से दोनों भी लैंग्वेज कंफर्टेबल रहेंगी सर.
Okay, okay. So I will see that I will do justice in both the languages. So what happens basically when we talk about higher education and we talk about governance, when we talk about leadership, okay, let us go into the past, okay, let us see what was the past. What is the future and what is the present we are going to see for sure. What has happened? Indian higher education system was historically highly centralized. If we talk about whole process, okay, if we talk about higher education system, the we are sitting on an online platform. This is the challenge where you may have certain technical issues, but we'll see that it will not going to continue for a long. We are back with the connectivity. So historically, there was rigid system. We would say it was highly bureaucratic. There was a lot of red tapeism. Administrators and the leaders, particularly the teachers, used to find that there is a very limited type of an autonomy. Whatever you are supposed to do has to be done in a very structured way. And at the same time, we were always used to run for approvals. We are very much concerned with the affiliations. So a lot of affiliations and approvals used to go for. So there was a lot of rigid system. But however, NEP 2020, that's the National Education Policy 2020, with a new vision of autonomy, with accountability and academic leadership is emerging. So there is a shift now from a very rigid, we are moving towards a very open, creative, at the same time, with an autonomy and responsibility at the same time. It's not just autonomy, because autonomy previously used to be thought of that there is going to be no responsibility to it, or there's going to be no accountability to it. But at the same time, for the first time, we are going to talk about the academic leadership also, because leadership is at the helm of the affairs of making anything possible. Because as we all know, National Education Policy document has come up really nice when we even talk about crossroads, when we talk about the pre-primary education system to the higher education system. For the first time, probably a very well drafted, articulated document in the realms of the national, in the context of the education has come up. So the draft is good. The whole policy seems to be very much promising, but it's going to be successful when we are going to have the perfect leadership and when we are going to have a perfect governance module. Because it's going to be the people, those who are at the higher education, your principals, university chancellors, vice chancellors, deans, across the board of studies, your academic councils, management councils, all these are the systems, those who are going to give that sort of a governance and the leadership. So this whole, you may say the journey of next almost close to 3 hours is going to evolve in and around governance and leadership. But one thing is very clear, okay, we all should know what is governance, okay? Which one word comes up in your mind when the moment we say governance? जब हम governance की बात करते हैं, आप सब लोग, okay, you all are being learned professors, associate professors, some are maybe newly, okay, but being into the education, which word comes in your mind the moment we say about governance? Let's talk about, since I said we are going to make it interactive, okay, which word comes into your mind the moment we say governance? What is that word which strikes you? And that too in context with higher education. And vis-a-vis, if I ask you which word comes in your mind so prominently, okay? Somebody has said policy. You can put it in your, what do we say, in the message box, okay? I can read it, but for that you are supposed to type. You have to type what word comes in your mind the moment you listen the word governance in higher education. Which word comes? UGC rules and system of rules, regulations. What else? System, processes, and structures through which institutions are directed, controlled, and held. Perfect, yes. Tejas Kapadnis has mentioned it. Administration, of course, yes. Administration. Yeah, we have quite a big number today, okay? So at least 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 more words if you can put it across. जब हम गवर्नेंस की बात करते हैं तो कौन सा शब्द हमारे दिमाग में सबसे पहले आता है, और वो भी हायर एजुकेशन के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में? लीडरशिप. Yes, Preetham has said it's leadership. You all are right, okay, when we are thinking about higher education, somebody has talked about the leadership, somebody has talked about the control, somebody has said law and order in education, very apt, okay, we always look for law and order, management, things going in a right direction, okay. All these words synonymous, all these words are perfectly mentioned by you. But let us see what exactly when we talk about governance is not control. It is an art of nurturing direction with dignity. It is not control. The moment you bring control, we all know there are reactions to the control. There are those people are going to opposing these controls because we as a human don't like people controlling us, okay? We always like to be, and that too in a teaching fraternity, we always feel it out that there should be governance which should be nurturing one. It should give you a chance to grow, to develop, and at the same time, which can be brought with dignity because we all have dignity, okay? Ultimately, when we grow with dignity. If somebody is going to bring control, probably we may not able to succeed in growing the way we want naturally. And nowadays there is a word which is being quite a many times used, organic way of growing. It is going to be a systematic growth where somebody else is controlling us. We lose our own freedom and identity, and somebody else is making us what we actually don't want to be. So when we talk about governance, it is something which is of not control, but is an art, because most of the times we talk about governance as a science or an art or what? Leadership is an art or a science, what? But it seems to be that how you're going to manage things, how you're going to bring out the change in a more nurturing way, in a more, what I would say, organic way, maintaining the dignity of each and every stakeholder in the process. इस सब प्रोसेस में हर एक की प्रगति होनी चाहिए, और वो प्रगति कैसी हो? वो बहुत ज्यादा नैसर्गिक प्रगति हो, वो ऐसी प्रगति हो जो थोपी गई ना हो, वो ऐसी प्रगति हो कि बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि जब कोई चीज थोपी जाती है तो अनुमान ऐसा होता है कि लोग उसको प्रतिकार करते हैं, उसका लोग उसको कहीं ना कहीं रिजेक्ट करते हुए दिखते हैं अपने को। ये बेसिक ह्यूमन टेंडेंसी है। आप किसी भी चीज पे अगर जब निर्बंध लाते हो तो पहली बार क्या होता है, आप उसको इमीडिएटली स्वीकारते नहीं हो। हाँ, धीरे धीरे जब उसके फायदा पता चलते हैं तब हम लोग स्वीकार लें, लेकिन पहली बार हम उसको क्या करते हैं, कहीं ना कहीं प्रतिशोध या फिर प्रतिकार उसका करते हुए हम लोग दिखते हैं। तो इस सब में जब हमने देखा कि एनईपी 2020 इसने गवर्नेंस में फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, that's perfectly fine. If you don't know the Hindi, we will be, because there are participants from pan India. Some of may be knowing Hindi, some of may not knowing Hindi. We will try to make a balance of it. Okay. So I'm okay to speak continuously in English, but if somebody has some issues with Hindi, please raise your hand. We will correct it ourselves. So when we talk about NEP 2020, this is the policy which has brought a significant change, and that change is a paradigm shift. It is something which we all were looking forward, that something beautiful is going to come up, something very significant is going to come up, and this significant change is going to bring a paradigm shift in the whole governance, shift in the governance. Which are these key transformational which are being introduced in NEP 2020? For the first time, the vision is very clear. The vision is create a globally competitive, inclusive, and flexible higher education ecosystem. Now, this education system is not only for India, is not only restricted or confined to India. This is something which is being looked on. This is something which we are prepared it for the global competitive, because our students are not restricted to get a job in India, or they are not very much restricted pan-India. They are supposed to be globally competent. They are supposed to move across the globe and should have that skill set and the mindset which any other country would look forward for it. So global, competitive, inclusive at the same time means we should have our own, what I would say, indigenousness into it, and flexible higher education. We have seen it out. It's a flexible higher education. It's not rigid anymore. You have multiple exit and entries into the ecosystem of education, which we have never thought of 10 years back. A student can take admission in the first year, can take a break in the second year, continue after one year. So there is a flexibility. For the first time, the education system has moved out of teacher-centric to more student-centric. For the first time, the learner is at the center of everything. What the learner wants, what the learner is looking for, what the learners demand actually. And that is where the flexibility comes. Today, the syllabuses are going to be more industry, what I would say, what the industry is looking for. A lot of emphasis is going on to make it academia and industry interface. What is being required when the industry scan our syllabuses can be incorporated into it. So rigidity is gone, flexibility has came, and this whole ecosystem, the moment I say the ecosystem, previously there was very few limited foreign universities coming into India and setting up their own campuses. Okay. This NEP 2020 has made it possible now in a big way. No doubt there are conditions applied to it. It's not anyone can come and establish the universities. Only the first 500 top universities can come up and establish these campuses. Very recently, Maharashtra and the education minister, central education minister in New Mumbai has almost launched 3 to 4 foreign university campuses, those who have the best ranking in the world. So the whole ecosystem is going to become more competitive. It's not going to be that monopoly as such of the private university or the central university or the conventional university for that matter. It is going to be more competitive. It is going to be more student-centric. It is going to be more flexible. It's going to be like a flexible in the sense right now also we have an online program happening, okay? So we are going to see a sea change how artificial intelligence is going to make a huge change in the ecosystem, how digital presence of literature and other things are going to make a difference. So yes, the vision is very clear of the national education policy that we are going to make globally competent citizens and learners, because it is more flexible system, it is more forward-looking system. It is like we are moving towards the West, but with our own ecosystem. Can we do it? So yes, we are. It is more of a decentralized governance, okay? No more centralized system. We have seen it out, how centralized systems has made an impact. At the same time, they were not able to succeed in making an impact. So the impact is there, but more decentralization, more of distributing your responsibilities, giving it to other people, and decentralizing it. So it's not centralized anymore, is the core of this transformation. The governance is going to transform only when we are going to bring decentralizations. And decentralizations means where not only one person is going to be looked up to. There are going to be people, maybe the deans of different schools, maybe board of studies, maybe academic councils, maybe other people, those who are at the helm of the affairs are going to be made more accountable for that. So the decentralization is को हम हिंदी में कहते हैं विकेंद्रीकरण, केंद्रीकरण से लेके विकेंद्रीकरण तक को जाना है, तो वो एक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है, वो बहुत बड़ा चेंज है, और वो चेंज नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी ने लाया है. फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम वी आर सीइंग रेगुलेटरी रिफॉर्म्स. जो आज तक हमें चलाते थे, जो हमें सिस्टम चलाती थी, उसमें भी कहीं ना कहीं हमें चेंज दिख रहा है. NEP proposes the establishment of an umbrella, a single umbrella body called as Higher Education Commission of India. For the first time, a bigger umbrella, बहुत बड़ी छतरी है, और उस छतरी का नाम रखा गया है Higher Education Commission of India, consisting of 4 independent verticals. For the first time it is happening that we are going to have 4 verticals. Previously, it was UGC who used to see everything into it. Or previously, we used to have AICT who used to see things happening. Previously, we used to have Medical Council of India who is looking after the medical. So there were verticals, but for the first time, Higher Education Commission of India is being established. And there are 4 verticals, जिसके 4 आयाम हैं, जिसके 4 स्तंभ हैं. और हर एक स्तंभ का काम बहुत ही ज्यादा, जिसको कह सकते हैं कि कन्फाइंड किया जा चुका है कि उनको क्या करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ वी टॉक अबाउट नेशनल हायर एजुकेशन रेगुलेटरी काउंसिल, इनको क्या करना है? इन्हें रेगुलेशंस को बनाना है, स्टैंडर्ड्स को खड़ा करना. क्या होगा हमारा स्टैंडर्ड, जिसको हम कई बार बात करते हैं कि स्टैंडर्ड्स क्या होने चाहिए, हमारे हायर एजुकेशन के स्टैंडर्ड्स क्या होने चाहिए, वर्ल्ड कॉम्पिटेंट होने चाहिए. कैसे उसको कॉम्पिटेंसी ला सकते हैं, बेंचमार्किंग कैसी होगी उसकी, कहाँ पे हमारी क्वालिटी के जो सर्कल्स हैं वो कैसे रहेंगे, हम उसका इम्पैक्ट को कैसे एनालिसिस करेंगे. हमें रेगुलेशंस तो लाने हैं, रिजिड नहीं लाने हैं, लेकिन लाने जरूर है, ताकि ऐसा भी ना हो कि कोई कुछ भी कर पाए. सिस्टम तो इन्फोर्स करनी है, और उसके साथ में हमें स्टैंडर्ड्स भी देने होंगे कि दिस इज द बेंचमार्क. इफ यू possess दिस बेंचमार्क, yes, the permission is going to be granted. If you don't have that benchmarking, probably we will not going to get the permissions. Okay. So the first and the foremost is National Higher Education Regulatory Council. So every institute of higher education is going to have a regulatory body who is going to confine the regulations and the standards. Whether it is technical, whether it is non-technical, whether it is medical, whether it's non-medical, whatever it may be, you will have one council for it. Single council, single institution to look for. The next one is National Accreditation Council. Accreditation of what? We all are going through NACs nowadays, okay? Over a period of a time, you might have seen how the accreditation process is being changed. Right from the peer team visits, now almost no peer team visiting. but everything happening online. So you have already seen a transaction. You have already seen how the quality parameters have been changed, how the accreditation process is going to be changed, how the quality benchmarks have been changed. So no more peer team visiting, but still the process is to be done. Accreditation has to be done. So the quality standards, as if we have NAC in our this one, conventionally NAC we talk about, which has a head office at Bangalore. Benchmarkings are being done. So gradings are being done. The star system is back now. So you have A++, A+, B++. Again, that range and the variety has come into the picture. Benchmarking is being established. And it is being made mandatory that every institute of higher education has to get accredited. The moment I say has to get accredited means if you are going to ask for the admission, and the students, those who are actually our potential customers, okay, would like to see where the institute stands in the quality. What is the ranking of this particular institution? If it is an autonomous institution, because the government of India and the respective state governments are going big way in giving autonomy to the institutions now. Colleges are going for autonomy. We will be talking about the autonomy of the colleges also, that how this autonomy is going to bring a change, how this positively going to make an impact. Traditionally also being affiliated to the university, but still colleges ask for certain autonomy, and how this is going to be rated, how this benchmarking is going to be done, what are going to be our quality standards. And these standards should match internationally. It cannot be just confined to a one state, 2 states, or you talk about few states. No, every state, every union territory has to maintain that. And there comes that accreditations, the ratings are made compulsory, whether it is a self-finance university, private university, whether it is a grant-in-aid college, or whether it is a self-finance college. Every college of higher education, institution of higher education has to go through accreditation process. Maharashtra is quite leading state in that case when it comes to the grant in aid, and we have seen 3 cycles, 4 cycles, 5 cycles of NAC being done in grant in aid, and few of that unaided self-finance colleges are also come up in a big way. So that's the second pillar we would like to say, which is there, the second vertical, which is we are talking about. Then we have Higher Education Grants Council. Higher education grants. Because ultimately, if you are talking about development, if you are talking about sustainable development, if we are talking about how we are going to enrich our research, how we are going to make it more progress in research and development, and that to quality research and development, how we are going to encourage innovations, how we are going to bring technological breakthroughs, how we are going to do startups, okay? A big investment is needed in the universities, whether it is a central university, whether it is a conventional university. We need funding for that. We need grant for that. And funding and grants distribution is going to be the job of this Higher Education Grant Council, which is going to primarily going to see how the funding has to be done, how to strengthen the basic infrastructure of universities, colleges of excellence. Now we have colleges of excellence. We have universities with the potential. We have autonomous colleges with the potential. And the university or Higher Education Grant Council is coming in a big way in supporting these institutions, establishing the hostels in the colleges, okay, establishing the hostels in the universities, in the, you may say, autonomous, you may say, universities or central universities too. So this vertical is going to work on grants and at the same time funding that in a big way. The fourth one is General Education Council. Now this General Education Council, the primary work of the General Education Council is going to work on the curriculum, because that curriculum is going to make our courses sustainable, our courses foremost, look out for our courses. Because if you don't have the curriculum, how we are going to, what is going to be the curriculum of MBA marketing? What is going to be the curriculum of MBA human resources? Or what is going to be the curriculum of marketing? What is going to be the curriculum for forensic psychology, commerce and management, engineering, everything which is to be forward-looking, which is going to be demanded by the industry. Till now, there used to be always a gap. And the gap was industry is asking something different and we are offering them something different. They used to always complain that there is a huge gap between what they are asking and what we are giving them. And most of the industries always used to say that we have to invest almost 1 year back working with them on internship, because the syllabus which are being covered up in most of the technical universities, even or the conventional universities, even having a gap, because our syllabuses are not being updated sometimes for three years, where the industries are moving very fast. And with the digital presence and with the AI presence, it is going to be faster than this. And we are supposed to prepare our curriculum, which is with an alignment with the market, because ultimately it is a market driven. What the market is asking for, what the stakeholders are asking for. So when we have General Education Council, the primary job is going to be working on the curriculum, at the same time qualifications too. We have seen in the past, right from a plain MA, then we found it out MA with B class or B plus. Then we found it out that, okay, we need something like national eligibility for the lecturership to teach in the colleges. Then we found, no, we need a PhD too, and in club with the teacher eligibility test. And if you're going to work in the universities, we need both. We need that you need to be a doctorate, at the same time clearing your national eligibility test, and in some cases state eligibility test also. Now, very recently, UGC, the University Grants Commission, the former commission chairman, has introduced what sort of qualifications we all need to have. And then we found it out, there is a big boost for people, those who are coming from industries, who are going to be more contributing in academic sense forth. The suggestions were asked pan-India, which qualifications you see that the potential teacher or an assistant professor or an associate professor or a professor must have. Whether we should still continue with the national eligibility test for the lecturership, whether we should disown it and we should take industrial experience into consideration. Somebody who is coming from 20 years working in the industry but no academic background, should we encourage that? That is all there in the draft proposal itself, which is being submitted to the Ministry of Education. And there is a brainstorming going on. Probably in the next academic year, we'll come to know that the qualification benchmarks are being changed. Because today what we see, what is happening is, we have too much of academics, and our faculties at times don't have too much of industrial experience. What is happening in industries, what industry is asking for, we are supposed to see that also. And what should be the framework? Who is allowed to be an assistant professor? Who is allowed to be an associate professor? Who can be even your vice chancellor? Okay, who can be the pro-vice chancellor? Because these are the people, those who are running and governing the education system or the ecosystem of colleges, affiliated colleges, institutions. So what should be the qualifications? What should be mandatory qualifications? What should be preferable qualifications? What should be desirable qualification? So over a period of a time, we have seen it has changed. It is no more the same. It has changed, and it has changed dramatically. And suddenly we found that, okay, post 1994, when for the first time, national eligibility test for the lecturership was introduced, for the science, and then it came to for the commerce and the management and humanities. Previously it was only for the GRF people, for which were basically for the science teachers and the people those who are coming from the technical background. But lately we have seen it out. It came in a big way for humanities, it came for big ways for the commerce, it came for the library sciences, it came for everyone, including the sports in a big way. So the fourth vertical, which talks about General Education Council, the primary objective of this is designing the curriculum, which I told you, should be proactive, should be in accordance with what industry is looking for, what industry is demanding. There should be lesser gap between the curriculum which is being delivered in the institution and what the industries are asking for. The bigger the gap, more the unemployability. The lesser the gap, less is the unemployability. So as an academic leader, as an academician, I must see that it should matches with the industry's demand. It should somewhere be positively correlated with what the industries are asking for, rather than what a teacher tries to put it across. The next aspect which is coming in a big way is institutional development plans, which is being known as IDPs. IDPs, Industry Development Plans. And when we talk about every institution is expected, every institution, we may be belonging to different colleges, we may be belonging to different universities, institutions, universities for that matter. Every institution is expected to prepare a comprehensive institutional development plan, which can be, we say, as roadmap. Mapping has to be done. Where we are today, where we want to be, what is our strengths? What are our weaknesses? What are our gray areas? What are our basic, what I can say, the areas where we are flourishing? Every institute, most of your institutions might be making the development plans, institutional development plans, but it should be made more conscious. It should be made more practical. It should be made more feasible. It should be more rational. It should be more goal-oriented. It should be more possible. We can't aim for something which is impossible, which is not feasible. We should see that there are these goals, these objectives are feasible. So number one thing which every institution of higher education, if they are supposed to make institutional development plan, they are supposed to work on the vision and the mission. Every institute must have vision and the mission. What is the basic purpose? From where are we coming? What is our objective? What is our ultimate objective? Okay. What is our aim? Is it making them employable? It is that underprivileged students should be taken care, empowering them, giving them the insight, giving them the skill set, making them competitive so that they can stand on their own. And to do that, what you are going to do it? What are your action plans to it? Are you going to give them multidisciplinary courses? Are you going to give them skill-based courses? Are you going to introduce vocational courses? Are you going to introduce VVOC courses? What is that you are going to introduce? What are you going to do that they become more employable? Are you going to have a placement cell? Though you may be belonging to a conventional college, maybe just running art, science, commerce, but do you see a scope of a placement officer over there? Do you see a scope for a student welfare officer over there who will look after what the students are looking for? Very conventional. Even because NEP is bringing that radical change, and that radical change is that even if you are going through a conventional degree, one semester has to go for internship, or an apprenticeship, conventional colleges have to incorporate even a placement officer henceforth, because we need that, because that is what the demand, that is what is going to happen. Very good, if you have a placement cell, perfectly fine. But most of the institutions, those who are going for conventional courses, don't feel that there is an urgency. But as I said, every course, you may be running a BA psychology, you may be running BA sociology, you may be running anthropology, you may be running economics, political science, languages. For everything, you are supposed to prepare them for an internship, for an apprenticeship. One full semester is going to go into it. So we need to be resourceful, and there comes that what is my institutional development plan? How I am going to make it? How I am going to make it possible? Okay. Because every subject today, okay, which is being taken by the student must have some empowerment, must have some employability. It is our job to create that. At the same time, we can't go with faculty development program, those who are of old age. No. As a faculty, I need to have more faculty development program strategies. We need to have hands-on experience, okay? How we are going to do it? How we are going to use digital platforms? How are you going to articulate good things? How we are going to be more, what I would say, technology savvy? Are we going to take technology? We are going to use technology in a big way, making our things more simplified, making our things more practical, making our things easy for them to understand. We need to develop faculty development strategies, because the moment I say internship, the moment I say apprenticeship, you may have people in your surroundings, those who are having basic skills. Say about a rural village, okay, where the old handicraft was once upon a time a great success. Over a period of a time, that handicraft has been lost. It has gone into history. But you have 2-3 experts in the village or the nearby, you're supposed to rope them up so that they can have an internship program with the boys and the girls. Maybe the skills which are getting extinguished, maybe the skill set which is no more now existing. There are cultural things, okay, there are historical things, paintings are being going away, there were cultures which are going away, there are traditions which are going away. But you may have few people, those who are expert into it. We have to strategize the training for that. How we are going to do it? Are we going to call them on, what I would say, experts? Are we going to call them as resource persons? How we are going to rope them in for your benefit of your students? How you're going to do it so that it enriches their knowledge more? How they are going to be more efficient in performing with the regional skill sets? How we are going to take help of the local artists, local people, those who have this basic skill set. Loka jnana, we talk about it. What is that loka jnana? Local knowledge, okay? We may not be competent enough to deliver that, but we may have people in and around. So we need to have establishment of that. We need to see the infrastructural goals also. You just can't confine to a single building or 2 buildings or 3 buildings. Probably we have to look forward for more. Because sometimes we say that, okay, we have programs, but we have inadequate infrastructure with us. We don't have land, we don't have buildings, we don't have funds even at times, okay? But we need to have infrastructural goals. 5-year plans, maybe a short-term plan, 10 years plan, 15 years plan. There comes the vision and the mission. Where I see my institution today and where I want to see my institution 20 years down the lane. I must have a blueprint. I must have a roadmap for that. Okay. This year, this, we are going to work on this. Next year, we are going to work on this. Third year, we're going to work on this. We are supposed to keep ourselves equipped. And this equipment has to be done with the infrastructure also. We just can't go with the old infrastructure. No doubt about it. We may need playgrounds. We may, because sports industry is coming in a big, big way. Sports which were neglected in the past today has a central stage in universities, and colleges are not far away, because the way these premium leagues are coming, whether it is Indian Hockey League, whether it is Indian Basketball League, Indian Cricket League, IPLs coming in a big way, football leagues are coming in a big way, hockey leagues are coming in a big way, and you have what I would say, kabaddi, conventional or traditional game, okay, which was neglected. Today you have premier leagues for that. And these premier leagues are to be organized. We see only one aspect, IPL for 4 months. But IPL is not for the 4 months. The whole system works for a complete year, starting for the venue, starting to look forward for the sponsors, how these events are going to be organized. The betting is to be done. The auctions of the players itself is a big event. And sports itself. So infrastructural goals are to be kept in our mind. We can't go by smaller infrastructures. We have to go by progressive infrastructure. We can't be just limited to very small things. Then we are supposed to think about research and innovation priorities. What is our research and innovation priorities? When we talk about research, where we stand in registering ourselves in patents, where we stand when it comes to copyrights, where we stand when it comes to innovation, where we stand when it comes to creativity. Is it practical or is it still theory? What? Where we stand when we compare it to China, when we compare ourselves with the Western world, where we stand. Where is our innovation today? Are we good in manufacturing, or we are still in the processing? Where? Or we are still in assembly line? Where we are? India, with a huge population of 141 crore or 42 crore people, we have the biggest market in the world. If we talk about only for us, I'm not saying that we are supposed to think for the exports. If exports happen, well and good. But within India, we have the market. And for that, we are supposed to bring innovation. How ideas are going to be generated, how the ideas are going to be protected, how ideas are going to be nurtured so that it happens in practice. Sometimes we have beautiful ideas, but we don't have a culture or the environment where these ideas can be converted into reality. And this has to be done. Institution of higher education has a bigger responsibility of doing innovation. For your information, you may be aware of it, that in the primary and the school level, there are Atal tinkering labs which are doing great job. So innovation is now somewhere shown in the school time itself. A boy who is working in an innovation center in the school would definitely like to see what is happening in the college. Whether the college is giving him a skill set, because NEP, National Education Policy 2020 says very categorically, whosoever is coming out of the education system must have one basic skill set. One basic skill set, I'm saying. And it is starting from the schools. Standard 6th onwards, every school has to give certain basic skills. It may be basic electrical, it may be basic mobile repairing, it may be carpentry, it may be computers, it may be AI, it may be coding, it may be anything. So the culture is built on. Schools are encouraged to start. Navodaya Vidyalaya is already CBSE pattern, already most of these schools have started, and we can't keep it a blind eye on it. Even we are supposed to have innovation centers. We may have small centers, perfectly fine. We don't need big houses. But for that innovation and for that research, we are supposed to have interaction with industries. What industry is asking? Whether industry is okay with that. We are saying this technology is the best technology, but industries may be asking for a cutting edge technology. And that cutting edge technology can come from the institution of higher education, colleges, where we start up with innovation hubs. Most of the universities are being funded by the University Grants Commission elsewhere, where they have started with innovation centers in universities also. There are a lot of funding which was given to the innovation centers. There were independent directors, those being appointed for running these innovation centers. People, those who are from industrial background, were encouraged to be the part of it so that we can have fruitful results. The objective of the whole this institutional development plan is, can we create innovators for tomorrow? Can we have startups coming in a big, big way? Already it is initiated. There are financial institutions, those who are supporting them, encouraging them to have their own startup. And that's the reason innovation is the key. And where else we can have the best of the innovation, I think institution of higher education has that opportunity to create that environment where the learner should feel that my ideas are valued and they are cultivated. They are encouraged. They are made financially sustainable. There is a financial support by the institution for the ideas which are being generated. There are beautiful ideas. And that's the reason today even people ask for idea banks. So what is the idea bank is? You have to create an idea, register your idea, and that idea becomes yours. Because we have seen people, those who used to take away the ideas also. Make their idea is somebody else, but the product is somebody else. So in this digital world, if you register yourself, your idea also, tomorrow you can ask for the patent because the idea is yours. You are the originator of the idea. There are a number of ideas which can be gone. At the same time, we are supposed to see student engagement programs. How we are going to engage students throughout the year. Okay. As I have already seen, or I normally see and visit the schools, students are not so inclined to even go to schools. They are forced to go to schools. They are made to go to schools. They don't. Colleges, you have a different perspective. We are supposed to engage them in a more meaningful way. How we can do it? Can we have university exchange systems? Can we have intra-university exchange system? Can we have collaborations with the industries? They should be engaged. There are universities, okay, Vellore Institute of Technology, okay, in Tamil Nadu. They have six months program, internship program. They are engaging their students. Now you will say that they are technical universities, okay, they can engage. What about the conventional, those who are offering BA, BCom and BSc? We can also engage. But we have to search where we can engage them. It cannot be just the boys, those who are doing master's in social work, can we get associated with an NGO? No. Even an NGO needs a professional help nowadays. How their projects can be made, how they can outreach to the masses, how they can reach to the beneficiaries. They also need technology. They also need their digital presence felt. They also need that they can have the competent donors for them. We are supposed to engage our youth in more meaningful way And there comes institutional development plan. Every institute must have institutional development plan. Because institutes nowadays are being encouraged by the respective state governments to go for autonomy. Most of this, if you are being continuously having an A grade, you are going to be offered to be an autonomous. They see that you have that strength and the viability to go for autonomy. We need to engage our students in more meaningful way. Then we have board of governors. Every institute is going to have this board of governors. Each higher education institute will have a board of governors functioning as the highest decision-making body. They are going to be the highest decision-making body. They will have the responsibility how to run an institute. They are going to have strategic planning. The moment I say strategic planning, that means how we are going to strategize, how we are going to use our resources, how we are going to prioritize these things. What is going to come into our whole institutional development plan? How we are going to navigate, how we are going to overcome the challenges. There are challenges, no doubt about it. It's not a cakewalk. We are living in an economy. We are living in an education system or an ecosystem where we are going to have multiple challenges. 5 years down the lane, 10 years down the lane, there were no, for say, private universities coming up. Today you have so many private universities coming in. Today you have so many institutions coming in. There are private universities. On top of it, there are foreign universities, those who are looking for a potential market in India. There are. And state governments are encouraging, under the guidelines of the National Education Policy, the state government, the Ministry of Education is encouraging that the topmost universities must have their campuses in India. So when these universities, those who are coming from outside and going to establish their centers, they are not going to be just centers. They are going to be almost like an university coming up. London School of Economics, Oxford, all these universities, once they come, they will not come just for the lip service. They're going to give us the competition, a very healthy competition. Then the board of governors have to decide what strategies we can do. Or we can have collaboration with other universities, foreign universities, those who have world ranking. We have to strategize. We have to see what the future holds right for us. Whether it is agriculture, we are neglecting agriculture to a greater extent, but we are going for AI, we are going for digital, we are going for a lot of software things. But what about agriculture? Is there agricultural reforms which are going to come into it? How we are going to work on such strategies we have to see. We have to see even budgetary controls. Budget is the key. Finance is the key. The board of governors are supposed to see how the budget allocation is done, how it is being, what I would say, expenditures are being done, accountability, whether there is a transparency in that, how budget is, spending on the budget is being done, is there control measures to it? What are the parameters? How we are going to control the budgets and how we are going to bring a discipline that is known as a financial discipline. Sometimes we find it out, we are out of funds. Out of funds means what? That means the budgeting was not done properly. The allocation of the resources which are supposed to be done, financial resources which has to be done, might not have been done in a right way, with less foresightedness. Visionary leader is going to see that every paisa of the budget is being, the expenditure is done in the right spirit, in the right way, and for a right cause. We have to see that the budgetary control. At the same time, we have to see the academic and the administrative appointments. Key. We are supposed to see academic. Who is going to be our faculties, okay? Who are going to be the people, those who are going to do this biased job of teaching, the sacred job of teaching, the devotion, the integrity, the love and the passion for teaching. Somehow we find it out, it's missing at times, okay? People take it as a job from 7:30 to 1:30, 6 hours. After that, I'm free. I'm not accountable. But I think that it's going to be a myth henceforth. We are supposed to be almost involved 27 into 7. Because the world is changing, the demands are changing, the learners' requirements are changing. It's not the same. So academics, the human resource which is going to come in this ecosystem is going to make it or is going to break it. Because he is the one who is going to be taking up the responsibility of everything. It's not about curriculum teaching. It's how you develop and nurture the learner, how you infuse that positivity in the learner, how you encourage, how you motivate, how you give him a direction, how you work as a co-traveler with the learner. You may be a mentor, you may be a PhD guide, you may be an innovator, how you're taking your student along with you in higher education. It's going to be a two-way communication with them. So academic, how you're going to do it. Administrative appointments also, right from your registrar, who is going to make the rules and the regulations for the university. Foresightedness. What can happen? How to discipline the whole system, the ecosystem. How to establish the standard operating system, SOPs. How the teacher is going to be recruited, how his training modules are going to be developed, how his orientation is to be done, how he is going to be, because in our case, higher education, we don't have a 2-year degree program that you come B.Ed and do your teaching straight away. No, in our case, what happens? We clear the net set. At the most, some people come with the PhD along with them, and they are being thrown straight to the classroom, assuming that they have enough control measures, assuming that their knowledge is going to control the class. No, that way it never happens. Do we need to bring induction programs even for our faculty, maybe for 10 days, maybe for 15 days, making aware of them the ecosystem where they're going to work. Private universities have proper induction programs. They make the faculty visit every department. They make them to visit every administrative block. They make them to visit even the sports faculties or the facilities which are there in the institution. So they are not being thrown in a completely unaware environment. They have made them to be friendly with the environment. So the first 10 days, 15 days goes into it, as in industries it goes. In industries, you are not being thrown straight to the dance floor. They say, okay, you will dance, we know, but let us prepare you to dance the best. And how you can do it? If you are familiar with the environment, if you know which environment you have to go and perform, which are the people, who are your colleagues, who is your head of the department, who is your other colleagues, a proper orientation, even for the administrative appointments, maybe clerks, maybe head clerks, maybe registrars, maybe rector in the universities, maybe supervisors. We need to train them in alliance with the NEP 2020. You can't keep them aloof. You can't keep them aside. They are to be at the central figure. So, yes, academic and administrative appointments have to be seen. Compliances with regulatory mandates. Of course, it has to be done. From time to time, if we are supposed to go for an affiliation, it has to be. If there are obligations, if there are certain compliances which we are supposed to make after every 3 years, after every 5 years, saying for going for an accreditation, going for re-accreditations, going for rankings, going for open audits, academic audits. We have audit everywhere. But what happens to our academic audit? How successful, how good a teacher I am? Does it still go with a self-appraisal, or it has to go with something else? What is it? 360-degree appraisal system which should come into it, or the feedback, testimonies, subjective, objective, psychometric tests? What? Because we are in a very competitive world. There are people, okay, highly intellectual people. They are not getting the platform for the job which they are looking for. So there is a cutthroat competition. And we need to have that environment which is fostering our growth, which is encouraging our growth, rather than discouraging us. So one can say that we must have regulation, but they should not be very, very, what do I say? There is a phrase which goes very well nowadays: light but tight regulations. We must have regulations, and they must be taken care. They must be, you may say, put into practice to the core. That means you can't have different yardsticks for different people. Same yardstick has to be used for every person, and then it brings the governance. If you use different yardsticks for different people, governance will become difficult. Then you might have used the word partial, might have used word, might have heard the word impartial, subjective, objective. Leaders cannot be. So if we really want to have a governance and proper regulation, we must have thorough knowledge of every aspect of the administration. We can't say, I will study and I will come back to you. That is my profile. If being a registrar, I should be an encyclopedia of the rules and the regulations. I should be a competent authority telling this is right, this is wrong. This is acceptable, this is non-acceptable. This is non-negotiable. We can't negotiate on this. It is a non-negotiable. How the universities are to be run, how the rules and the regulations are to be made, and at the end of the day, seeing that every rule and regulation is implemented to the core. We can't get away with saying that, ho gaya. No. We are living in a world where we are having a lot of accountabilities. And accountability brings responsibility, and responsibility brings ownership. We will be continuing our session further, and we are going to take a 10 minutes break, and we'll come back. It's how much? 3:40 or 45? If it is 3:45, we'll be joining at 3:55, exactly after 10 minutes. You can have a tea break, have your teas or water, whatever you please. Look forward to it, and I will be joining after 10 minutes. Thank you. So welcome back. I'm audible. Please confirm whether my voice is reaching. Yes, thank you very much. We have seen that, okay, how this governance which needs to be light, but at the same time tight. Okay, we can't keep it loose threaded, but everything is being process based, and we all look forward for outcomes. Because if the process is enjoyable, the outcomes are good. If the process at time becomes so tedious, so rigid, so bureaucratic, so much following the traditions and following the precedents, at times we find that they are more working as more stumbling blocks than the outcome itself. So there comes the role of governance, there comes the role of a leader, because we all work in the institutions where we have academic leaders. We are not bound to have political leaders, but they all are academic leaders. And if we talk about academic leadership, these are like governance structures will only succeed. They will only succeed if academic leaders embody vision. Every academic leader must know the vision of the institution for which he or she is working. What is the vision? Uplifting the poor, giving them the best of the education, giving them the technical education, giving them the values, which are, sorry, they are missing today. Are you giving them the integrity? Are you giving them the livelihood which they have actually joined the institute? There is a big thing, because most of the times the visions are being written, missions are being written, and we find it out, it is not embodied. We are not, they are rather far reached out. We are not close even to it. So the one who is leader, who is the one who is taking the responsibility, must have embodied every time. मेरा मकसद क्या है? मेरे इंस्टीट्यूट का मकसद क्या है? हम किस चीज के लिए काम कर रहे हैं? हम बच्चों के लिए क्या देना चाहते हैं? बच्चों, उनको हम कैसे सशक्त बनाएंगे ताकि वो हर चैलेंजेस को सामने जाके फेस कर सकें? वो मेरे को बहुत क्लियर, एज एन एकेडमिक लीडर मुझे बहुत क्लियर होना चाहिए। मेरे पास वो करेज भी होना चाहिए। Sometimes you find it out, the leaders are not courageous. Sometimes you feel it out, they don't have a gut feel. They can't sustain the pressure. They are the one, those who are supposed to have that courage and bold enough to take the call. That courageous leadership, and on top of it, integrity. Integrity to the extreme. You can't be non-integral and do the job. एक निष्ठता जिसको बोलते हैं, अपने इंस्टीट्यूट से हो, अपने स्टाफ से हो, अपने स्टेक होल्डर्स के साथ में हो, कोई भी प्रेशर में आके नहीं, इसको कहते हैं अपने कॉन्शियस से काम करना। इंटीग्रिटी वो होती है। A leader must know clear cut about the responsibilities, about the accountabilities, what is the mission for what he is being appointed for. He is supposed to be the one who is supposed to give that lighthouse type of leadership. People should come and ask for the guidance. Tell us what we can do, how we can shape up, how we can reboost. That sort of a leadership. And that has to be developed. And there are many, okay, leadership in higher education requires what they require: strategic thinking, changing environment. Environment is always dynamic, okay? It's never static. 15 years down the lane, you will not having any other college next to your college. Today, you have a next door college, almost offering the same courses which you are offering. Maybe difference of 2-3 courses. but you have a competition. How you're going to strategize? How you're going to use maximum surface of your college? Utility of the space. When this college is, you may say the college hours are over, how we are going to use the space in some other way to generate funds. Strategic thinking is required. You need to be emotionally intelligent. No doubt about it, okay? We need somebody to be cognitively intelligent, perfect. होशियार तो चाहिए ही चाहिए. Intelligent person is required to catch hold of that position, to work in that space. But at the most, we need somebody who is equally emotionally intelligent also. The moment I say emotionally intelligent, it means we are working with people. We are working with humans in and around. We are working with intellectual humans in and around. There are professors. There are people, those who are doctorate. There may be people, those who are postdoctorate. You may have people, those who are coming for 4, 5, 6 master degrees, professional qualifications, coming from a different legacy at times, okay? That means we are supposed to understand people. Understanding of other person is very, very significantly important. But beforehand, I must understand myself as a leader. What are my emotions? What triggers? What makes me irritate? What makes me happy? What makes me sad? What makes me disheartened? What makes me frustrated? I have to scan as a leader myself. What happens when I'm in a disgust? What happens when I'm in a panic? Whether I react or whether I respond. What is my emotional imbalance or my balance? If I know my emotions as a leader, I would definitely like to understand your emotions too. If I am confused, probably I will never be able to understand you also. So an emotional intelligent person is the one who is not going to think from sympathy point of view. He will walk with you. That is empathy. A leader needs to be empathetic. A leader should get into the shoes of the others, that how he or she might be feeling at this point of a time. Should I extend him a helping hand, or should I give him a pat on the back? Should I encourage him? Should I motivate him? Should my presence should be encouraging for the person? I must know my emotions. What are my emotional states? In the morning, I am always elevated, okay? In the morning, I am very happy. By the time evening comes, I am sad, okay? I am not that energetic anymore. It may be because of the physical, okay? But emotionally, I should be happy. I should be mindful. I should be the one who should become a cause of happiness for others. At least I should not be the cause of distress for people. I should be a cause of happiness. I should be the one who should encouraging my staff, asking them, talking to them, opening with them. I need to be human with them. I should know when to speak, how to speak, how much to speak. And I must also know that I need to give my staff the feedback. If you don't give them the feedback, they will never feel encouraged. If I feel it, or this is your job, you're doing what good in it, leave it. You're not doing any great job. That was your profile, you have done it. But an appreciation from the highest authority works wonderfully well. It gives them the spirit for the day, happiness for the day, that my boss under whom I am working has encouraged me, applauded my efforts, my intent. That has to be seen. Emotionally intelligent people You are maybe having a high IQ. You may be super intelligent academically, but if you are not a man with emotions, probably we will not be going to be successful leader. I need to be successful leader. I need to be the one who is leaving, even if he is going to leave the organization, he is going to live with grace. Live with many people feeling bad. Many people feeling, oh no, my God, he should have been continued. Should have went along with us for more years. They should feel that gratitude towards you. A leader must have communication skills. Must have. That communication skill does not mean speaking. Writing skills too. How you write, how you address your people, how you motivate them, how good your speaking skills are, but most importantly, how you listen. Do you able to comprehend the things properly? Are you a deep listener? Are you a shallow listener? Are you just you hear it and leave it? You don't process it? You need to be a listener who is going to give a patient listening without interrupting the other one. I've seen the leaders. I got the point. Okay, don't tell me now. I got the point. What the point you got? You have listened half. You have not listened full. And how you can say that I got your point? In communication skills, listening skills is of a paramount importance. How patiently you listen. In psychology, there people say my half of the worries goes when I find somebody who is listening to me carefully. He's giving me an ear to listen. That's why listening costs more. You need to absorb. You have to comprehend it properly. You have to understand what the person is saying. Read between the lines. Read between the words. Intent. Communication skills have many. Your presentation skills are also communication. How effectively you present yourself. Maybe through a PPT, maybe through a digital platform, maybe through your voice modulations, maybe through some changes in your voices. How you articulate your words. How you bring that human touch in your communication, consideration in your communication. See that your words are not hurting other people. Some people have this tendency of hurting people by words. Words kill more people than weapons. नासुर बन जाते हैं कई बार. आपने किसी आदमी को शब्दों से मार देते हैं. उसके लिए आपको वेपन की जरूरत नहीं है. लेकिन जो शब्द से मर जाता है वो उठ नहीं पाता. So as a leader, I have to see that my words are not going to hurt consciously. Unconsciously, it may happen. And if it is happening unconsciously, I must recognize when I've hurt somebody and I need to tender an apology for the same. I must feel regret. I must feel something wrong I have done with my words. I played with my words, which I should not have done. So a leader who is mature, who has this audacity, okay, will use the word with consciousness. He will see what encourages people and what discourages people. Understand human psychology over there. At the same time, you must have collaboration with your stakeholders. Now, without public-private partnership, you can't flourish nowadays. You need corporate social responsibility people coming in a big way, establishing institutes when it comes for the infrastructure, when it comes for the resources, when it comes for ideas, when it comes for money. You need to be a very good network wala person who can build on networks. who is one who is being driven out of the college, out of the university to look for the like-minded people, institutions, funding agencies, companies, corporates, those who can give something to the education, something to the educational institution, having a strong bond with the alumni, because alumni can be a big game changer. We have seen how big Indian Institute of Technologies are being revamped by 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Those who have moved abroad, have wealth, accumulated wealth, give crores of rupees to establish a hostel in one of the premier institute. We need to have good networking. We need to have good collaboration with every stakeholder. Its stakeholder is your parent, stakeholders, your vendors, stakeholders are not. Your everyone who is being directly, indirectly linked with the institution becomes the stakeholder. What type of equation I enjoy with them. Whether they welcome my presence or they are being called up for meetings time and again in between. What sort of equation I enjoy. Leaders are successful where they have a strong network, human network, resourceful network. At the same time, having good relations with the industries, at least the catchment industries, at least the nearby area, 20, 30, 40 kilometers areas. Because nowadays, CSRs are being confined to talukas, district. Most of the companies say, we don't go out of the district. But there are certain industries, those who are having a presence pan-India, so they move pan-India. They fund pan-India. But some small industries may have a meager CSR, but they restrain themselves for a specific talukas or the district. So when we talk about leadership styles, there are quite a number of leadership styles. We'll try to cover maximum if possible today, okay? With some examples too. There are transformational leaders. Parivartan late hain wo log. Transformation, because I remember Mahatma Gandhi's word, what is education? And he has wonderfully explained, education is something which has to bring a transformational change. What I am today, I must be enlightened tomorrow, and it should happen with the help of education. Education becomes an instrument which brings that change in me, which is enlightening change in me. And there are leaders, those who bring that transformational change in ourselves. Transformational leaders, they are vision driven. What qualities they enjoy? They are vision driven. They will be always working to accomplish the vision. I am meant for this. I will see that I achieve it. I am driven by this. जिसको बोलते हैं ना हम लोग, उनके लिए वो लोह चुंबक के जैसा हो जाता है. विजन उनके लिए मैग्नेट बन जाता है. हर एक्टिविटी उनकी वो मिशन को अचीव करने के लिए लगेगी. मुझे ये देना है, देना है, देना है, मतलब देना है. They work with time lags. They work with a time frame. They work with some timelines. And they make everyone to work, no doubt about it. If they are working, they will make everyone to work. At the same time, they encourage innovation. They welcome innovation. They are not aversive about innovation. Whatever is new, welcome. Whatever is new, positive, should be incorporated, should be brought. If it is encouraging, if it is affecting our performance in a positive way, should be encouraged. They motivate teams. They keep on motivating. You might have seen people, okay? They always give a pat on the back. Good, you are done good, extraordinary good, okay? Keep on doing it. And I'm proud of you. Words come out. It's not like that you are doing your job. Okay, वो तो हर एक कोई करता है, तुम भी कर रहे हो, तो बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं कर रहे हो. No. Transformational leaders will find out what is good in you. And they will not going to miss out an opportunity in encouraging you, motivating you about that particular quality. There are people, a vice chancellor of Ahmedabad University, who reshaped the governance via learner-centric model. Everything is student-centric. What the student is asking for, what the students taste, what the student likes the most, which way it has to go. Innovations will come from the customers. And our customers are who? Students. And most of the time, they are the most neglected one. We seldom ask for what you want in the syllabus, tell me. We never ask. Is the board of the study sitting in the university making all the syllabuses and then coming up to the students and transforming that syllabuses to them? But if you can ask what you need, a third-year graduate or somebody who's doing a master's degree, you can definitely ask that master degree wala, what do you want that the first year BA, BCom, BSc should offer? We are offering this. What are your inputs to it? So that Vice Chancellor has been so famous because he transformed from a teacher-centric to a student-centric one. There are certain leaders, those who are transactional leaders. There are transformers, there are transactional. Transactional leaders are, they rely on the system. There is a system, they would like to follow it. There is a pattern, they would like to follow pattern. They will not go out of the pattern. They will say, no, the system is established and I'm going to follow that. Precedential. Last Vice Chancellor has done, I will keep on doing. I don't want to take a risk. So they rely on what? They rely on the system. And a transformational leader might have done, he might have changed the system. The system is out of order now. We have to bring a new system. But a transactional leader will follow the old pattern. He will say, okay, it is established, it has yielded us results, it will yield result further also. So I need not to change. He will follow the systems, rules, and performance metrics. He will have 1 to 5, where I should rate you. Extraordinary, ordinary, or you are below par. He is a metric one. He will put it on a continuum. 1 to 5, where I should rate. Or 1 to 10. 10 is extraordinary. 9 is bit. And under 5 is like low performer, moderate performer. So they go by rules. Work in a stable and structured environment. They will not going to ask for a private university. They will say, no, I would like to prefer a conventional university, okay, who is running with a system from years together. And I will just go and sit on the chair and I will work for that because the system is already there. Nowadays, you might have seen youths not going for startups. They always say, okay, I will be preferring a Tata, I will be preferring Infosys, I will be preferring Microsoft because the system is already placed. They have to just go and work in the system. No innovation required at times. It is like this. Follow it. Rule by thumb. Follow the rule, you will read the results. No other aspect. This is what one of the leadership. Then there is a third type of a leadership, which is known as servant leadership. Servant. What they do? Focuses on faculty and students development. They are only focusing on what? Teachers and the students. At the same time, leader acts as mentors. They see it out, this is my job. I have to work with my teachers. I have to work with my students. Nothing more and nothing less. I am meant for that. I am paid for that. I will do this. They don't go beyond that. They will not see infrastructure. They will not work for the vision. They will not see how systems to be changed. They will not see how new things have to be brought. They are what? Centered towards teachers and the students, and they will see that this act is more important, and they believe in mentoring them. With the expertise they carry, with the knowledge which they carry, they feel it out. I'm supposed to be mentoring them, guiding them. Then you have somebody who has a shared leadership. This is the fourth type of leadership, which is shared. Now, shared is something, they encourage participatory decision making. They are more like, okay, they will be sharing. What should be the best outcome? What should be the best thing to be done? Let us talk on it. So they believe in brainstorming. They believe that, okay, let everyone idea should be taken. So they will distribute, they will encourage decision making across the departments. If I have to bring a change, let me take opinion of each and every one because they are going to be affected by it. So let it come through them. For example, if I have to make certain rules and regulations, What I will do if I am a shared leadership wala, I will not prepare rules and regulations. What I will do, I will ask every departmental head, you prepare the rules and regulation and come, then we will have a brainstorm. Then now this rules and regulation is not Vice Chancellor's rules and regulations. These rules and regulations came from where? From the faculty. So the faculties were encouraged to give it. Follow the time, have the biometric, record this, be punctual, submit your assignments in time or before time. If a Vice Chancellor gives, then it becomes what? Hukum, Adesh. But if it is coming collectively, then everyone say, oh, I have suggested this, yeah. The moment say, I have suggested means I have to work on it. It is collectively responsible. It becomes collective responsibility. Aligned with the NEP vision of decentralization. It is very much, this type of leadership is aligning with the decentralization because we believe that there should not be many power centers. Only one power center is not encouraged. You can have distribution, okay? Deans have their powers, board of study chairmen have their powers, academic council people have their own powers, pro-vice chancellor, which is now mandatory, okay? Deans are no more elected deans nowadays, they are appointed deans. So there is a lot of responsibility coming into it. So change is there, and that change has to be encouraged. Then you have fifth type of a leader who is strategic leader. Now, this strategic leader is who aligns with the institutional mission with the national and global educational goals. He would like to take that institution at the global height. And there comes nowadays where universities are competing globally, where we stand in the ranking worldwide. Are we standing in the first 500? Are we standing in the first 1,000? Because in our case, we are having lesser number of universities as compared to America, as compared to other countries where there are numbers of universities. Globally, there are so many universities. Where we stand globally today, that institute like the university, Savitribai Phule Pune University, very recently, they got a global ranking of, they are being in top 500. A remarkable achievement where you have thousands of universities competing for this ranking. These strategic leaders actually always aim for global presence. And they always feel it out. Our mission should be competent with the world. Why we are supposed to have a very limited type of a vision. Like Ashoka University is known for integrity, liberal arts with strategies, internationalization. They have done it internationalization. There are universities, those who are forward-looking, globally receptive, globally open for that change. And that university has done. Then the sixth number of leadership is ethical leadership. Now, ethical is something which I was talking about. Integrity. Now, this ethical leadership ensures fairness. They will not be partial. They will not be impartial. They will not be favoring one and discouraging another one. No way. They will be doing right judicial decisions ethically. They will always see that it should be morally correct. It should not be morally discouraged. It is going to be more of a inclusivity. It is going to believe in a lot of transparency in decision making. No under the carpet. I have taken the decision. No, this decision has evolved. This decision has evolved 1, 2, 3. These were the people, those who were involved in decision making. Transparency, as we talk about right to information. Why right to information is being brought? Because there was some where there was lack of transparency. We need in the system transparency. Why this has happened? Why somebody is demoted? You may say demoted. Why somebody is given a promotion? On what basis it has been given? Why is being given an award? on what basis the award has been given, transparency of that level. Who are the committee members? Who were involved into it? That decision making is important. Now there is a reflective exercise for all of us. You are supposed to identify your own dominant leadership style. You have to do that, okay? Where you stand, I have given you 6 types of leadership styles. You all are academic leaders in your own way. Okay, you are going to be an academic leader, maybe in a position of pro-vice chancellor at point of a time. You may become a vice chancellor, close to it. You may be a registrar of a university, or you may be somebody else, dean as such. See where you connect. I have given you 6. I have given you ethical leadership. I have given you transformational leadership. I have given you a transactional leadership. I have given you a servant leadership. I have given you a shared leadership. I have given you a strategic leadership. See which connects to you more. There may be one which may be connecting you. You can put it on your, what I would say, in the message box. Which one you align with, which one you find it out, it's close to my personality. I'm like this, I'm like that. My focus is on this. I damn care about that. What is that is close to you? Where you find it out, yes, this matches with my type of personality. Because leadership has to do with personality. It's not outward personality. It is your inward personality. You may look dashing, but from within you are not dashing. You may have a very good physical structure. People may be thinking they are your bossy, but you may not be bossy. You may be very polite, you may be very gentle, you may be very considerate. There are many things. So personality is just not an outer representation of you. It is something which is deep inside you and it comes out. That's what the leadership is. You have to see. So आप लोग लिख सकते हो. You need not to share. Okay, you can write down somewhere on your piece of paper if you are having that notepad with you. Write which one is your leadership. I hope you might have connected with that. Okay. Now moving further, governance for multidisciplinary and holistic education. Now, NEP is holistic. NEP is interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary now. Rather, NEP encourages that. It is no more unilateral, no more single point. There are multiple points to it. And when we talk about that, NEP basically 2020 promotes institutions a wide spectrum of disciplines. They're encouraging that you should have multiple spectrums. And that is, in the silent features are flexible curriculum. Now we have more flexible curriculum. Anyone who knows about what is flexible curriculum? What is that? Let's hear from someone of you what it says. Flexible. It's no more rigid. Previously, it was rigid. The moment I say it is rigid, it means what? Structured. Highly structured. You cannot take exit at any point of a time. Okay. You can't enter at any point of a time. Today, it is already started. It is already begun. I can take a pause. I can set up my priority. After 2 years of my graduation, if I get a hands-on experience in an industry, I will leave my education halfway. I may go for an industrial stint for 2 years, and in 3rd year, I will come back for my degree. What is it? It is flexible curriculum. I'm giving a choice to the learner to go by his pace of learning. Previously, it was what? It was my pace that they should learn. I am giving you a curriculum. I am giving you a structure. But now it is not. Now the learner decides. Ki Baba, no, I will do this. And most of the gender, okay, the females, in the graduation, the marriages are held and they are being completely out of the education once the marriage is taken place. Now, after 2 years of the break, after the marriage, they can come back in the mainstream education. That's where the flexibility comes. And that's where you have had certificate course, you have diploma course, you have degree, and you have an honors also after an integrated B.Ed, or integrated M.Ed, or integrated so many things. The 4th year is integrational year. You can specialize in that. So there is a lot of variety and a lot of flexibility. Now you have a credit transfers. That is academic bank of credits. I can take an extra subject, an elective, choose an elective, add on to my credits. Even if I'm studying at Mumbai University today, and if I'm being transferred to Bangalore University or any other university, I can carry forward them. It's no more wastage. No more that you are not entitled to admission in another state. You can carry that credits with you. And you can put on, it's like your saving. It's like your saving bank account. You keep it and you can accumulate and you can transfer it into your real degree once you receive it. You have interdisciplinary departments now. It is again an encouragement. Rather, Ministry of Education and the university, okay, the funding and the grants are encouraging people to have interdisciplinary approach. No more unilateral approach. The moment I say unilateral means only one thought, only one specialized. No way. There can be multiple ways of studying it, a single problem. If I have to study unemployability, okay, can I study just from an economical point of view? No. I have to go into the genesis, sociological. I have to see the psychological frame of the person. Yes, definitely I have to see society. From which background this person is coming. So itself, the poverty itself has a multiple other subjects which I have to study. Tradition. In some of the segments, jobs are not encouraged. They say, don't do it. You may earn less, but do it from your own business or do it your own. You become an entrepreneur. You are not meant to do jobs. And sometimes the entrepreneurship fails. But that society or the segment of the society, they themselves never encourage jobs. So, one subject of poverty can be studied from different angles, different perspectives. Same thing, psychology. It's not only clinical, okay? There are so many other branches of psychology. If you talk about mental health today, is mental health only that the person is mentally disturbed? We have to get into the genesis from where this mental health issue has come up. Is it economic? Is it upbringing of the child? Is it the family system? Is it the society? Is it the school in which he was made to take education? Society at by and large? Peers? There are so many angles to mental health. It's not one aspect. So interdisciplinary, cross-departmental representation. Universities are encouraged to do collaborative research nowadays. Like previously, people used to say, do it in environmental sciences. Okay. any environmental issue cannot be one single thought wala environmental issue. There are multiple other reasons, okay? If you talk about water pollution, is it only the water pollution? No, there are other reasons for a water pollution. We still treat our rivers as what? They are close to drainage system now. Because where do we put all our waste nowadays? It's in the rivers, or all the most you can put it in the sea. Sea is the biggest garbage center today, or the garbage throwaway. When it comes to the plastic, when it comes to whatever it may be, because we find it is a hang samudra. इधर से देखो तो उधर तक दिखता नहीं है, लेकिन कचरा दिखने लग रहा है. We can see the waste. We can see how we are polluting our rivers, how we are polluting our seas, water bodies for that. We have to see how governance elements are needed, integrated higher academic councils, cross-departmental representations is the need of the hour. As I mentioned, student representation on curriculum boards. The institutes, those who are going for autonomy today, most of them, Maharashtra government has encouraged. Now they are constituting their board of studies, and in that board of studies, most of the colleges, those who have gone for, they have included alumni representative. They have included a past student into it, not for the funds, but how they can contribute academically in development of the curriculum. Because they know what they might have faced when they have moved into the industries, what was the industry requirement, and what we have offered in the curriculum. Our curriculum may not be very dynamic, but the students can bring that dynamism in our curriculum because they have gone through that syllabus. As teachers from last 30 years, 40 years, 35 years, we know we have a very standard pattern of making syllabuses. Very seldom we do a revamp. Okay. Most of the times it is taking 3 chapters, including 3 chapters. Adding subtraction, additional subtraction is being done at times. But at times we need to do a comprehensive revamp of it. And there comes the student representation on curriculum development. Curriculum boards. The board can be bigger, maybe of 8 people, 9 people, 10 people, but give student representation. Their presence will make a change, and that change is going to be a positive change. Joint Research Governance Board, interdepartmental, interfaculties. There are many departments. Okay, now colleges are having not only 3 faculties, there are many more faculties. If we are traditionally just having arts, commerce, and science, the same institution as a management faculty, the same institution as an engineering faculty, the same institution as a medical faculty. So there are verticals. All these verticals can be brought into a joint research governance boards. At the same time, institutional development program must include interdisciplinary curriculum designing right from the beginning. See that subjects are not studied in isolation. Subjects are studied in interdisciplinary way. See that the curriculum is designed in an interdisciplinary way. When we talk about, for example, criminal psychology, and if somebody asks the question, okay, are criminals made or are they inherent criminals? Our situation makes them criminal, or it is something to do with their personality. It's an interdisciplinary subject. Somebody will say, no, I have to study the environment of the family. Somebody will say, I have to see upbringing of the family. Somebody will say, no, I would like to see the system in the family, whether he is being a single parent or whether both the parents were present. Whether he is from a nuclear family or whether he was from a joint family, whether he was from a broken family, or whether he was living in an orphan, where he was living. So being a criminal can be studied from so many disciplines, in which school he has done his schooling, who were his peers, who were his role models, which locality he was living in, whether it was a slum, whether it was a quite a good affluent society. What was it? We have to study the same subject from different angles. So, interdisciplinary curriculum design, holistic student development. That is very significant. That is the aim. That is where we talk about make them globalized citizen, competent citizen. Globalized, but competent. We all need competency. And when we talk about holistic student development, sorry to say today, it is all about intellectual development. If you go by the standard 10th and 12th results today, I see it is all about marks. It is all about grades. It's all about CGP. It's all about where they stand today in the merit list. In some of the boards, they say they have taken away the merit lists. But the schools have lot big, you may say, flex boards outside their school campus saying that we have 90 students above 95%. We have 16 students above 85%. So there is definitely cognitive development, okay? We have developed intellectually our students, but intellectually also to some extent. Some extent means they're good in memory. They're good in reproducing what they've studied. But are they able to be successful in real life? Do they have an independent thought process? Do they have that creativity, innovation, imaginational power which the society is asking for today? Sorry to say, we find them intellectually superior, but poorly in creativity and many other domains. So right now also, the one aspect in the intellectual also which is working is your left side of the brain more, where every emphasis is being done on what? Whether you are able to remember, whether you are able to memorize, whether you are able to reproduce. In examination, it is all about reproducing whatever you have learned. But can we work on our right side of the brain where imagination is there, creativity is there, where you have visualization? Sorry to say, before the NEP, it was not there. Now this NEP is promising that in our school curriculum, we need music, we need art, we need poetry, we need sports in a big way. I have seen students having issues, physical issues, as early as in their 10th standard, 8th standard, because they were not working on their physique. It's all cognitive. You make them to sit for 3 hours, they will start complaining. We have a bad backache. It's too much. Now we are almost connected almost from last 2 hours, close to 2 hours. You make the young boy or a girl to speak for 2 hours. They will never. They will all have complaints. They cannot stand. They cannot stand in a queue for a long. They will start complaining, "Mera pair dukh raha, mera sir dukh raha, mera ye dukh raha." Sorry to say, prior to this, it's all about intellectual. If you talk about holistic development, we are supposed to take into confidence and we are supposed to work on emotional well-being of the child even. You can't make one point agenda that they should be superior in intelligence, mental or cognitive intelligence. We are supposed to see that equally emotionally intelligent. Their emotional development should be done. And that's the reason we have Mental Health Act 2019 in force today. It is mandatory that in schools we are supposed to talk about the life skills, how to face failure, how to work in teams, how to get along with the people, how to have a team bond, how to encourage cooperation. Competition is there, no doubt about it. We need competition, but it should be throat competition, okay, where you will kill somebody for your own satisfaction. No. Can our schools and colleges can bring competition less and cooperation more? In our education system previously, we always used to have independent person. Even I think you all will agree with me. The objective of you all is that he should be independent. Families expect the same. Family expects the same, that my boy or the girl should be independent. And in this whole process of making them independent, we are failed to make them how they are going to be successful in their professional life, where they need to be interdependent. Unfortunately, we are having good individual players, but we are not having good team players. And in society, in organization, in companies, they all look forward for good team players, keeping the ego aside and working for the bigger cause. We need to have emotionally stable, strong, resilient, working under pressure, but without disturbing the mental health. We should make them to make balance between work-life balance. At times we are not able to make it. And that's why in corporate today, the retirement age has reduced up to 45, 46, 48. By the age of 50 in corporate, most of the people are retired. If you talk about the data, you can take it data from Infosys. You can take it the data from the software industries. They don't have people those who are working at the age of 60. They say, no, done. You're already mentally exhausted, everything done. You are of no use to us. Mental exhaustion is there. Because this youth is not able to make a work-life balance. You may be observing people working from home, almost 18 hours, 19 hours. And they are after what? They are after money, packages after packages. And what is happening to their health? Only they and the God knows. Nobody else. So this NEP is working very, very consciously on building on the physical health of child. And that's the reason in school curriculum, 45 minutes of rigorous exercise every day is mandatory. It is no more a choice or voluntary. The boy has to take up one sport, has to go for an exercise, has to do something or the other physically. He cannot pick up a chess or a carom. No, he has to be on the ground doing certain physical exercise. You all used to do PT exercises, but every day it has to be done now. It can't be a once in a week phenomena. We do it on Saturday. Huh? No way. It has to be in the curriculum. It has to be in the timetable. And on top of it, physical education is also no more an extracurricular subject. They are curriculum. So the weightage has brought into it. We need to have, that how we are going to shape up them, how we are going to make them psychologically strong, emotionally strong, and physically also, and on top of it, they should be ethical. Now, that is the crux. Now, ethical is something which has to come with the value system. What values we are inculcating in our youth. As a leader, what is my proposition? What happens basically as faculty, as teachers, as professors, we speak a lot because we believe that preaching is good. But there is a saying, action speaks louder than words. What I'm giving to my students as my actions rather than my speaking. And that is going to bring the integrity and the ethical part in my students. Some faculty stand alone in this category. And they are brave enough. They are the ones who follow ethics to the core. They will not going to bend themselves under the pressure. They will say, no, this is not my culture. This is not the way I am being brought up by my parents. I will not going to take this ethics. I would say we need to be close to walk the talk. Whatever you say, can you walk on that? As a leader, it happens that I do a lot of talking. But when it comes to walking, oh my God, I can't do it. No, वो तो मैंने बोल दिया बस. बच्चों को बहुत अच्छा लगता है वो सुनने के लिए. लेकिन एज अ लीडर मैंने बोला है तो बच्चे आपसे एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि आप उसको करो भी. और ये आपके बारे में नहीं है, ये सबको लागू होता है, राइट फ्रॉम द स्कूल्स टू द कॉलेजेस. बिकॉज स्कूल्स में बहुत कुछ होता है. हायर एजुकेशन में आते टाइम हम लोग बहुत बार ऐसा बोलते हैं कि बच्चा तो भी पक्का हुआ घड़ा हो गया है, उसमें कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं. जो करना था चेंज, whatever change we have to done, it is being somewhere done in the schools. Today they are prepared. So the school system has also to be gradually changed, which NEP has brought. Consciously. And the pivotal role is played by the teachers. And when I say holistic development, it has to be holistic. Today we say students have lost the innocence. How many of you agree that students are no more innocent nowadays? They're smart, but they are not innocent. You may say that, okay, you can put on your videos on. Why you have kept your videos off? I would like to see your expressions. Because I am talking to closed windows. How you will feel when you go into your classroom and all the students shut their eyes closed, okay? And you please keep on teaching now. We are listening to you. How you will feel? Or if they wear a goggle and you keep on teaching, you will not feel encouraged, no? Simple. So I'm asking you one question. What was my question? What was that my question was? Pramila ji, would you like to tell me what was my question? Dr. Pramila. Yes, it's on student innocence. We say that innocence is gone. आपको लगता है, do you agree with me that students are no more innocent? Chalo, at least show me your thumbs. How many of you say the innocence is not there? Then I will give you the answer to it, okay? Yes, somebody, yes. Vrunda has said, Deshpande has said, the innocence is gone. Ajay is saying, yes, it has gone. Who else? Agree. The admin to everyone is saying, agree. Yes, you agree. Anyone who would disagree with me, chalo. Let's have a disagreement. Probably nobody. We all agree to it. The innocence has gone. And the answer is where this innocence has gone. You might have seen there is a change. When the child was very young, he used to be very innocent. He used to speak whatever is to come into his mind without any blockage. Mama, this is not good. You are not prepared good chapati. Mama, it was not tasty. The moment he sees his father saying equally good to that chapati, which both of them are eating, then he comes to know, dal mein kuch kala hai. Because the husband is pleasing mama, because he does not want to take that anger on him. आपको तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है. आपको तो मिल गई ना. You got ready-made. There are people those who never get any ready-made chapatis or vegetables or this two goods recipe, vegetable dish. The boy is picking up from there. The boy picks up that pleasing is something. Now he's not knowing that pleasing is lying. But he picks up from there. I have to keep someone happy even under making a false claim. And slowly and steadily, this innocence is being replaced by street smartness. We say the boy is street smart, huh? Usko koi bhi pagal nahi bana sakta. But under the street smartness, what is encouraged? Saying lie. Now that is the one. That means our conscience is not aligned. In Hindi, it is being named as Sat Sat Vivek. You listen to your inner voice or not? When you are in a deep trouble, okay, you sit in front of whosoever you pray, and you said, I need 5 minutes of me. And then you find it out, there is an inner voice coming out. And the inner voice is so powerful, it said, don't say yes. You will be in trouble. And the inner voice makes you to say no. But sorry to say, we are not in touch with our inner voice. We are in touch with what? We are in touch with intellectual. We are in touch with our emotions more. We are in touch with our body more. But we have lost the touch of our deep inside seated director. We are moving with actors more. And the director is lost. That's the reason the innocence has replaced by street smartness. So the holistic development of the child, working on the emotions, working on the intellect, working on the body, at the same time we are supposed to work on the inner child also. You all have inner child deep inside. But the calling is never taken from there. We are intellect, so we always listen to the brain. Faida kya hai? Nuksan kya hai? The one which is benefiting me, I will pick up that. The one which is going to bring more liability to me, I will not. That's simple. Brain is very, very sharp, okay? It navigates so many things. That's the reason this IDP is talking about emotional and cognitive and ethical development. At the same time, we must have community engagement also. We can't live in isolations. We need to develop community nearby. What are their needs? What are their desires? What they expect? They are also a stakeholder. And we are supposed to engage with them in more meaningful way. We have digital governance nowadays. I think everyone knows that digital governance is coming in a big, big way. Digital presence is everywhere. You have ERPs, that is enterprise resource planning. Most of the organizations do have ERP system nowadays. System for academic and administrative integration. How many students have paid their fees? What is their status, whether they have paid the examination fee or not, semester fees or not, this fee or not, whatever it may be, it's there. You have a system for that. ERPs is there. What are your liabilities? What are your assets? What is the depreciation? And you can have even administrative, how many people came in time, how many people left before time, what's the reason? You have biometrics everywhere now. And they all are integrated biometrics. The biometric is being integrated with your pay bills. The biometrics is being integrated with something, your leave records. The biometric is being integrated with something else. In some of the organizations, it is being integrated with the performance appraisals also. How many times the person is late, how many times the person left the organization well before, without informing, it is informing. Movement orders, everything is being digitalized nowadays. Your movements are being taken care. You have a geo mappings nowadays. That is mandatory. If you have a function, you have a geo mapping. What time, where, who was the person, resource person. Dr. Bhardwaj is speaking, so you can geo tag yourself. Geo mapping is being done. The session was held. You have learning management system, LMS. It's coming in a big way. Like you have to prepare modules. You have Google Classroom nowadays. We are having a Zoom classroom today. Platforms are to be used. Now, this is the biggest benefit of COVID. Post-COVID, we are at distance but yet connected. The HRDs and academic staff colleges, universities have saved money using these platforms. And these are the platforms which are encouraged platforms, which is giving you what the best the platform can give. So learning management systems, then you have performance dashboards. That means real-time faculty, student, department, analyst, कितने students हैं campus में, क्या कर रहे हैं, कौन से department में कितना है. You have sensors nowadays, you can do it easily. How many students have just moved out of the campus? Where they are? Where is the nucleus of the students? Is it the sports department? Is it the library? Is it the playground? Is it the classrooms? Or the innovation center? Where? You have e-governance portal nowadays. You have NAC, which is almost has become digital. No peer visits, as I mentioned earlier. It's digital platform. Everything has to be done on digital platform. You have quality assurance bodies nowadays, okay? In every college you have it. NAC you definitely have, where the third party comes and check your quality parameters. But at the same time, you have national institutional ranking framework. Those who rank where you stand. What is your position today in the market? As I said, education is a competitive world. Many universities have came up. Many autonomous universities have. Private universities have came up. As a learner, I have a choice today, okay? I have a, what I would say, free choice today. I have within a parameter of 20 kilometers or a radius of 20 kilometers, I have choice today. 20 years back, 25 years back, I was not having the choice. The institutes were making all the calls. Today, as a learner, I have a choice. And what the choice is? I would definitely like to check the quality. I would like to check the ratings. I would like to see the grade. I would definitely like to see the faculties, those who are contributing. I would like to see who are the governing body members, who are the invitees to it, who is contributing, to what extent it is being contributed. Complete transparency. There are mandatory disclosures on the website also that mandatory disclosures are teacher's profile. How many patents a teacher is having? How many copyrights the teacher is having? Where she is contributing in research and development? How many projects he or she has completed? How much grants or how much fund that teacher has brought into the institution? Mandatory. So there are institutions, technical institutions in India where they are contributing through their consultancy. Even I know an institution where almost close to 60% of the corpus is generated by the faculty through consultancies, through structural audits, through this, through that. Days are not far away where we also have to contribute with our skill set, with our intelligence, with our qualifications, how I can contribute to see that the funds are being raised. People are running consultancies. You may be belonging to languages. They have, they write good poems, good books, subject books sometimes, other books sometimes. That is also revenue generation. Now that's a different story because we have a digital presence also. Books are not going big ways, but that presence is always there. Then you have internal quality assurance cell in every college you have now, checking whether you are close to your parameters or not. Whether whatever was planned in the beginning of the year, are we matching? Are we close to that benchmarks? Are we deviating or are we getting more? What was our 5-year plan? Let us check every year where we stand. Is it something new which has come in, or is it we are going with the old? Assurance, quality assurance cell has to check who is coming to your institution and what this person is bringing to that institution. What value addition is being done through the knowledge or whatever it may be. What is that? We have to check. At the same time, as I mentioned, All India Survey of Higher Education is already there, which is being done where the Indian universities, where the autonomous institutions or institutions of excellence where they sit. We have to see that. As we have seen many things, there are challenges to this whole new things. We can't just see the, what I would say, the brighter side. There is another side to it. And we can just close your eyes and say that it is all happening good. There are challenges. And as a teacher, I must know what are these challenges. As we all know, there is a human tendency. And the human tendency is, you bring a change, I will resist. होता है ना ऐसा बहुत बार? Anything which you want to bring a change, we resist. Resist मतलब क्या करते हैं हम लोग? वो हमको पसंद नहीं आता. We don't like it at times. Because it's making us to upgrade ourselves. When Rajiv Gandhi first brought computers in India, there was a strong resistance that people will lose their jobs. Yes, you are right. Opposed to change. We have resistance to this. We will not accept wholeheartedly. We will not accept it openly. So resistance to change, and it can be with the older faculties, senior-most faculties, senior-most administrators, those who are on the verge of their retirement or superannuation. What they will say, "Abhi jate jate ye sab kuch karna hai. Within a year, I'm going to get retired." So they will start opposing to it. Number one. Number two is, we have low digital fluency in governance structure. We are not completely on digital. It is there, but it is there in a selected, what I would say, places. Selected communities are using it to the most efficient way. Metro cities or cities those who are being graded as B grade cities. What about the rural? What about the far-flung places where we don't have internet connectivity to the optimum level which we are using today? Remember, this bandwidth which we are using is a huge advantage to us being into a city. If I might have been being into a very rural, probably when I might have asked for a better bandwidth, and I might not have even dared to open up my video because it takes a lot of bandwidth. It happens. So yes, digital and low fluency in the governance structures. At the same time, conflict mandates from regulatory bodies. Previously, it used to happen. One body is saying something different, other body is saying something different. You have courts in place nowadays. Anything happens, people go for justice in the courts, and you find it out it is being just stuck over there. And then everything is being standstill. It normally happens for all the competitive NEET, GRE exams. Results are out, but the admissions are not happening because somebody has moved to the court. So yes, the regulatory bodies are there. They all need to be fine-tuned. But yes, people are there, though they may have certain problems with that. At the same time, overload to compliance tasks affecting academic creativity. There are much of compliance. You might have seen it or you might have experienced it previously with the NAC. There used to be a lot of paperwork, evidence has to be created, evidence has to be kept, compliances are to be done. And in this whole compliance making things, teaching is affected the most. And if you're too much into it, now at least university and college teachers are well off in that. But if you go into the school education today, they have to do hundreds of compliances. It starts with the midday meal scheme, whether the wheat was proper or not, whether the dal was proper or not, whether the jeera was proper or not, whether it was spicy, non-spicy, what. Then you have to do with Shalartha IDs. Then you have to do with this. Then you have to do that. So many compliances. The purpose of teacher is to teach in the classroom becomes secondary and compliances becomes primary. Sometimes it happens in higher education also that you are being given how much? This is urgent. This is urgent and important both. This is confidential, but has to be reported. There are compliances. There is a lot of things which has to be followed, and that sometimes take away the creativity from ourselves. Then you are supposed to have, there are certain things which we can, resolutions are being, that academic leadership fellowships are now coming up in a big way. Academic leadership fellowships. Because as I mentioned, in most of the cases, those who are being promoted to the principal, they are also an academic leader. Most of them, those who are coming as a vice chancellor, pro vice chancellor, at times they are hardcore academicians. They are hardcore academicians. They don't have a lot of experience when it comes to administration. Because since they are not coming from the administration, they lack administrative skills at times. And for that, we need to have fellowships. Because everyone has joined education with an aspiration. Everyone has their aim of life, some objective they have kept. That I would like to go by this ladder, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I should be retired at this. Aspirations are there, but these aspirations can be fulfilled if they are being nurtured, if they are being trained. Now, if you want to be a principal of a college, then you must have certain orientation programs or refresher programs only meant for aspiring principals and aspiring administrators for the future. So that your 6 months are not going into learning. I've seen people putting one year in learning only because they were thoroughly good in academics. They were wonderful teachers. They were wonderful scientists, wonderful academicians, but they were not close to administration. And that governance has to be there when we talk about that. Yes, we need good people to govern. We must have international collaborations. There are many universities, many autonomous colleges, those who have done international memorandum of understanding with the universities. Collaborations are being done. And this is what I would say is the requirement of the day. We just can't live in isolation. We can't say that we are the best. You may be the best in your own, but there are institutions, those who are equally good. They may be having their own domain knowledge. They may be having their own strengths. We have to pick. We have to collaborate with them, with the Western, because we can't say what is happening in the West is wrong, is not good. In the West, there are good things happening, okay? And we are supposed to take these good things which are happening. At the same time, faculty induction programs or the faculty development program. Right now, what we are doing is the faculty development program, sensitizing you for the national education policy. Few of you will be understanding it very clear. Some of you may be not very clear, but something is going on that this national education policy is a transformational policy. And we as an individual have to play a very significant role into it. Aligning with the NEP, and at the same time, Indira Gandhi Open National University is also preparing certain modules in sensitizing about it. At the same time, we are supposed to work on leadership contributions, and at the same time, we are supposed to see a visionary leadership which can make this NEP possible in a right way. We need to work on innovation projects. We need to have student mentoring system, which is missing at times. When I say mentoring, means almost close to be a parent, adopting a child in the college system. There are schools, those who have colleges, those who have done, maybe 5, 6 students are being given, where the teacher and the faculty knows in and out about the student, the weaknesses, the strengths, the potentials, and the teacher really becomes a facilitator. He guides that student in the right direction. At the same time, we are supposed to take what we are supposed to do. The final reflection is we have to take initiative in preparing institutional development programs. You all have to take an initiative. What is going to be my institutional development program for this year, next year, 5 years, whatever? Working on the vision and the mission of yours. Create communities of practice of academic governance. You have to create communities. Like-minded people should come together, think in the direction, what can be done best. We are supposed to initiate institutional innovation cells. Innovation can be small, okay? We need not to go for a rocket science for that. Small initiatives. Very small initiatives can bring a lot of change. Can we develop a research and development environment, culture in our this one? As Swami Vivekananda has said, I'm concluding with his remark. What Swami Vivekananda has said, education is the manifestation of the perfection already in the man. Remember what Swami Vivekananda is saying. He's saying education is the manifestation of the perfection already in the man. It's already there. Every individual is unique. Every individual has the potential. Everybody has the ability. As a teacher, as a faculty, I'm supposed to ignite that mind. I have to identify what potential that boy or the girl is having and navigate him, guide him. Rest he will do. We are supposed to work as a GPRS and a correct GPRS. The student is there to follow you. As we all do it, we are dependent on Google Maps or not? At times we are. We say, send the location, I will be in time. And you find it, or suddenly you are caught up in traffic and you are not able to reach in the time. But it navigates. Now, even that technology has gone far ahead. Now you know where the traffic congestion already. So the Google suggests you take the different route. You will reach in time. As a faculty, I'm supposed to motivate. I'm supposed to encourage. I'm supposed to see that some potential is there in the child. I'm just supposed to bring it out. Give him that strength that this potentiality is there in you. I need to work as a mirror. I need to see that what the child is having as a capacity, okay? What his capacity is. What is his potentiality? What is his worth? Every individual has the worth. Every individual has the basic potentiality. But as a teacher, I'm supposed to, what I'm supposed to do? Identify it. Yeah, you are right. Every student has a potential, but in a different areas. 101%. But as an individual, I'm supposed to identify it. Sometimes it remains hidden. And when it comes out, it's very late. So as a teacher, I'm supposed to be vigilant. As a teacher, I'm supposed to be very good observer. I should see what is there in my child. And let us conclude. Let us, as an educator and leaders, grow with the wisdom, lead with compassion, and build institutions that reflect this inner perfection. What Swami Vivekananda said is of inner perfection. We always strive for that inner perfection. It's difficult, but not impossible. It's challenging, yet possible. We can all strive for that. We can all go for it. And with this, I'm concluding it, okay? But your questions are most welcome. You can ask me the questions. We still have 7 to 8 minutes to go. And your feedback is valuable for me, okay? Because that encourages me to hold on for some more sessions, okay? And yes, you can put it in the window for feedback, okay? Everyone needs feedback. Your student needs feedback when they do a presentation and they expect from the teacher, give me the feedback, how you felt about it, okay? And take away, you are supposed to write one sentence in your notebook wherever, okay? What was the biggest takeaway from this session? What was the biggest takeaway? You need not to share it with me, but you should write in your diary, in your notepad, in your pustak or wahi, okay? What was the biggest takeaway? What was that which has touched your heart? Whether we are losing the innocence, what was that? Because we are losing innocence for sure. We are losing it. And when it is being replaced by street smartness, we are encouraging manipulation more. So let's, at least in our home, our children are innocent because they will represent the society tomorrow. Yes. Any questions are most welcome. With my limited knowledge and capacity, I will try to give you the answers. Thank you for all the videos on. That was a pleasant surprise for me. You can keep videos on still, okay? 1 minute, last minute. And I'm thankful to the Academic Staff College and director and assistant director both. This may be, I don't know how many lectures I have delivered online and offline with the Academic Staff College in the last 10 years, but it is always what I would say, feel good phenomena when I being invited by Rafe sir and Mahajan madam both. It's a long and past association. Yes, there is an admin who is being visible now. So admin would like to add on something. Voice. Is developed or it is inherent. Okay. Yes, leadership can be groomed in a very right way if there is a strong urge to be a leader. No doubt, some people say that it is inherent, but it's not always inherent. Sometimes situations makes leader. Sometimes situations are so powerful, okay, that you don't have an option to be a leader. Like sometimes a bad experience or a bad accident, okay? How to describe Sri Aurobindo? Nothing can be taught. Good. Who is asking this? Vidya is asking that. So let me finish with the first one, that it cannot be inherent always. It can be groomed. It can be developed, but one should have a pure intent to it. Sir, how do we describe Sri Aurobindo? Nothing can be taught. It's very, very difficult. Okay, nothing can be taught. Teach by being it. It's as simple. And I say teach by being it. Bring it to yourself first and then say. Students learn by way of observing you. The inherent learning starts by imitation. And as a teacher, my job is to facilitate what is there deep inside in the child. I cannot be an instructor. I cannot be a taskmaster. I can be the best facilitator, a guide, and a helper. Once you do that, you become a real facilitator. So that where nothing can be taught. Students learn by themselves, and you're supposed to be a perfect and close to a role model. Yes, we have seen that the old education policy was more theoretical then, and can NEP be more practical oriented, which create more interest? Perfectly, yes. It has practical. It is in the school education. It has brought many activity-based learning. It's more of a storytelling. It's more of a understanding emotions. It's more of a learning by doing than learning not by doing it. So hands-on experience, as I've mentioned, standard 6 onwards, students have to pick up one skill minimum. One skill minimum. So it's definitely going to be more of a practical than the theory portion. Anyone else? Yeah, NEP is more skill-based because that's the one vertical which is being given a very, very conscious thought that if skill is there, we have a tomorrow. In Hindi, it is being skill hai to kal hai. What is the role of a placement cell? Yes, placement cell has to do lot of competency mapping of the students, finding what they are asking for, what we can provide from the industries. One has to bring that interface, academics and industries. One has to see the skill sets of your students, in which domain they are very powerful, in which domain they have upper hand, okay? Which skill set is there. So working on the skill set, competency mapping, you can definitely see there are people, those who are doing campus to corporate type of trainings, okay? That is the need of the hour. From campus to corporate. They talk about life skills, they talk about professional skills, they talk about how to be the best human resource for the company, how you're going to be more productive to the company, how you're supposed to maintain the temperament. Today, youth has a problem with the temperament and the patience. They don't have patience. They want everything to be fast and has to be done by the placement sir only. They have to give offer letters, and then they will say nothing is being done to us. So as a placement officer, I'm supposed to work on what? Skill sets and proper competency mapping. Yes, we have done. And it's 5:31. So shall we conclude? Anyone who would like to speak can speak, or the one who has asked about Shri Abindo, will you please raise your hand? Or just put it a message on the message. So thank you very much. See you on a different platform. Yes, this is Vrunda Deshpande. You asked. Good. So I'm logging out from my Zoom meet. You all can do that. Thank you.